Thank you for joining us in celebrating the success and accomplishments from the past year. You as a student scholar, student athlete, student leader, student musician, or student employee have made a vast impact on GRCC. We would like to thank you for that. My name is Brandon Sinclair, and I am the president of the Student Alliance, and this is Hannah Christofferson, the president of the Campus Activities Board, and we will be the master and mistress of today's ceremonies. On behalf of GRCC, we would like to formally welcome you to our 2016 Student Leadership Awards banquet. Today, we are here to celebrate the exemplary leadership of our students across the campus and throughout the community. But before we get started, we would like to recognize the president of our college, Dr. Steve Ender, and the 5 members of our Board of Trustees who are in attendance, Trustee Cynthia Bristol, Trustee Dave Cucci, Trustee Dr. Stewart, Trustee Rick Furberg, and Trustee Ellen James. Could you all please stand so we could recognize you? As president of the Student Alliance, I know that I am not alone when I say that GRCC was the best educational choice that I could have made. Thank you. I'm glad that I could study, learn, and develop as a student and as a person here. Over the past 2 years, GRCC has become like home to me. Therefore, I'd like to acknowledge all of the coaches, advisors, the staff, the faculty, and the administration that give graciously of their time in order to support student success and persistence. Thank you all for your support. At this point in time, I'd like to call Dr. Steve Ender, president of the college, to come up and share a few words.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. There was a time in my life when I would have bounded on that stage, but I decided I'd take the 2 steps, and that just seems to be easier. So, student leaders, athletes, and scholars, I've watched you go this year, and quite frankly, I'm excited about the opportunities that will come your way as leaders who will now go above and beyond. There are so many accomplishments each of you have had, some collectively and some individually. I'd like to highlight just a few of those accomplishments, as they did not go unnoticed this year. Members of our Phi Theta Kappa chapter received a 5-star rating, which is their first 5-star rating in 10 years. They were also placed into the top 100 chapters in the nation. There are 1,285 total chapters, and to place that high is just an incredible feat. Congratulations. They also placed in the top 3 of Nerd Nation competition, whatever that is. So build on that stereotype. The Asian Student Union collected almost $1,200 for the Flint water crisis and made 2 trips to Flint to help distribute the water to those in need. Well done, great accomplishment. The USGBC, and that is United States Green Building Coalition, hosted their first sustainability conference here in Grand Rapids. I attended that conference. They did a great job. In their second year, Student Alliance has continued their progress toward supporting clubs and organizations by creating a plan for a club hub, which will allow clubs and organizations to have a working space, allowing for easier collaboration among our groups. I do think this is a great idea, as we have seen some groups already start to collaborate a bit more this year, such as the dance with HSO, ASU, Campus Activities, and Raiders Swing. Deanna Rogers won the Player of the Year award twice for NJCAA Division II. She's apparently a pretty good basketball player. If you did not get a chance to watch her on the court, I highly recommend you review some of the videos. She is really something special. Both the women's volleyball and basketball teams made it to the first round of the playoffs this year. There are so many successful stories that you will hear as we progress through this awards banquet, and I could go on for quite a while. You have all worked hard while at GRCC. Today, we are here to recognize all of you and the potential you bring to our society as you embark on your life journey. For some of you, that may be transferring to a four-year institution to complete your undergraduate program. For others, you'll be preparing to go out into the workforce. For those of you returning to GRCC next fall, I hope that you will continue your engagement, your service to the community, and your academic excellence. By the way, finals are still coming. No matter where you are going, I have no doubt that you will be successful. My most favorite activity of this entire academic year, every year, is commencement. And so I look forward to all of you that are graduating to join us at that ceremony. Let me tell you about commencement. I've earned 3 degrees. I never attended one of those commencements. And every time I share your commencement, it is part of my commencement, and it is always very, very special. And if you're graduating and haven't signed up, I just can't encourage you strong enough to attend. It is a rite of passage. It is, in my mind, an opportunity to really appreciate what you have finished and where that finish takes you on your next step in that journey. So come and celebrate your success with us at commencement. In closing, I ask all the leaders, scholars, and athletes represented here today to continue to serve your communities and be role models of distinction and excellence. Others will be watching you. They'll emulate you. Know at all times that you're making a difference when you really have no idea the number of people you're impacting in the work that you do through your clubs and organizations. May your journeys be filled with great joy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ender. You are going to be greatly missed after your retirement in 2017. Let's take a moment to show our appreciation for all of Dr. Ender's dedication to GRCC. As in years past, we have a brief student involvement tribute video to share with you that was produced by Charles Madison in our GRCC media department. Let's take a look.
Student life is a place where people from different clubs and organizations who have the same goal ultimately to make their life better and make the campus better.
It really, really has helped me get to know more about what I enjoy doing. Since I've been in college, I've been in a bunch of clubs and I really enjoy meeting all these new people and learning the different parts of things that I really enjoy doing.
It's helped me stay motivated in my classes more because I actually want to come to campus now. I started paying attention and I'm like, oh, this is actually fun. I actually want to do this now. So clubs kind of motivated me to stay in school.
Being vice president has helped me open up my shell a little bit. I like it because it gives me more of a platform to be able to talk to students and whatnot, so it's kind of cool.
So student life helps connect you with people of similar interests and values with the different clubs and organizations that we offer. I can go to those different groups and meet individuals who share those same feelings as I have, and that helps enrich my college experience.
I realized that music has always been in my life and it's always been a passion. I wanted to start making my own music, so that was really important for me to learn the tools that was necessary to make that a reality.
It gives you a chance to meet people that you wouldn't otherwise on campus. The faculty and student life help you to become a better leader.
Dr. Backout, he recently allowed me to be in my first operetta, which was very surprising. So he's trying to connect me with people who are in the opera world and, doing classical music.
It is a great way to form connections and to network with people, and it's helped me grow as a person and discover my strengths and weaknesses, and it's pushed me in the direction that I want to go, which is biology.
Basically, do what you love. I can honestly say that the courses that I'm in right now is because I love the courses. I love science. I've been in love with science since I was younger.
Our science department is really good. It's got a lot of pretty good equipment considering what size of a college we are. We have a lot of nice equipment. A lot of the professors are very helpful. I've learned a lot in my time here.
I've always been a chemistry and biology major, but because I'm in a leadership role, I've been kind of considering going over to event planning, which actually turns out I like more than science, and I would have never realized that if it wasn't for the fact that I was in a leadership role.
I was able to enroll into a journalism course, and almost within a week, instantly I became an editor, and the past 2 years have really helped me grow. As a college student, I've been able to see what opportunities are really out there for me.
I started taking a couple geography classes around GRCC and met Professor DeVivo, and he also enticed me with this Geographical Honors Society and what it meant to be involved.
Look at us go!
I think that the big thing about student life and student involvement in general, it keeps it from being go to class, stay there for a couple hours, and then go home. It makes it feel all more personal.
Through student life has kind of broadened my horizons a little bit more to look at colleges, outside the state, maybe even outside the country.
Student life has helped me in a lot of ways. One, it's great for building references, but more importantly, I've built a lot of friendships and a lot of support there, which has made me be a successful student.
It's challenged me in a lot of ways. It's given me a lot of different dynamic scenarios for me to both play to my strengths and understand what areas I need to improve on. It's also exposed me to a lot of good relationships that I have now in the form of various mentors.
It's been really fun because I've been part of the club and I've made a lot of friends and I've learned a lot of things. So it's really nice. So I'm definitely going to partake in that when I transfer this summer.
Through the help of the college and through student life, I was able to apply for my major, which is communications, at Grand Valley State University, and I will be attending there next fall semester.
Being in student life has really helped me professionally because it really taught me a lot of ways to make connections, and it's helped me a lot to get more confidence to go out there and be more involved. This upcoming fall, I'm transferring to the University of Utah, and already there I'm really excited to get involved with their student life and be a part of their community and make an impact over there.
I've learned how to communicate, and I've learned how to network with people, and I've figured out what my skills are based on how I've gotten involved with student life. Please help me show our appreciation for all of the work Charles did to produce this video. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Dr. Bill Pink, Vice President and Dean for Workforce Development at Grand Rapids Community College. Prior to taking this post in March, Dr. Pink served as Vice President for Academic Affairs at Oklahoma State University, Oklahoma City. While Abilene, Texas is his hometown, Dr. Pink lived in Oklahoma City for the past 18 years before making Grand Rapids his home. He has been an educator for 25 years and has taught and/or coached in Oklahoma, Nebraska, and Oregon. He was a successful student athlete as a basketball player, earning awards for his athletic and academic achievements. Dr. Pink has an associate's degree from York College, Nebraska, a bachelor's degree from Oklahoma Christian University, a master's degree from the University of Central Oklahoma, and a doctorate from the University of Oklahoma. Dr. Pink has been involved with several local as well as national initiatives and service including the Board of Directors, Family Builders of Oklahoma City, former National Conference co-chair for Dream Deferred, the Future of African American Education, and member of the Selection Committee, National Merit Scholarship Council. Dr. Pink is a sought-after public speaker and has accumulated numerous invitations to speak at events across the U.S. His topics are usually associated with diversity, leadership, and faith-based presentations. Aside from being a teacher-educator, Dr. Pink teaches public speaking courses as well as athletic administration courses at the undergraduate and graduate levels. Along with a daily workout regimen, Dr. Pink loves playing golf and fishing in his spare time. Dr. Pink and his wife, Lori, have 2 children named Lance and Lydia. Prior to their recent move to Grand Rapids, Lori, a Michigan native, worked for the Federal Aviation Administration. Lance is a member of the Marine Corps, and Lydia is 13 years old with a love for archery and playing volleyball. Dr. Pink is passionate about student success and lifelong learning. We are grateful that he accepted our invitation to open today's event. Without further ado, please help me welcome Dr. Bill Pink to the stage.
Thank you, Hannah. Good afternoon. Not hearing much over here. Good afternoon. Got to talk to me now. Thank you so much. I say thank you to Brandon and Hannah for inviting me to spend some time this afternoon, to our Board of Trustees, President Ender, and all of those faculty and staff who are here this afternoon. Welcome. And also, most importantly, to our students, to our student leaders. Thank you, not only for being here today, but thank you for what you do, who you are, and how you represent Grand Rapids Community College. I will tell you that I've been instructed by several people in looking at their watch, telling me to make sure I keep this short. And so I plan to give you an intermission about a half hour in, so you can, yeah, I know you wouldn't be here anymore, I'm sure of that, but I just want to spend a few minutes not only saying congratulations to our student leaders, but also I have a couple of words I want to encourage you by. And hopefully it will, by the time we finish this afternoon, hopefully you will have taken something from my words today that will be of encouragement to you, both as a person, as a leader, as a student at Grand Rapids Community College. I hope you'll excuse me. I usually like to take my coat off when I speak. So if that bothers you, sorry. Got to start off with a story, all right? True story. And this is one of my favorite stories to tell because I love telling true stories about things that have happened in my life that I have typically learned something from. This one doesn't go back that far. It goes back about 5 to 6 years ago. I will tell you that the one singing group that I have seen the most in my life is the Temptations. Now, for those of you who are 20, 30, and younger, that is a singing group. And they have been around for a long time, way before I was even around. I remember being a young child, and my father playing 8 tracks. Okay. You probably don't know what that is either. Trust me. So this mode of music, we had the Temptations. And I used to listen to the Temptations quite a bit. So in my adult life, I can't tell you how many times that I have made it a point to go see the Temptations. Actually, April 23rd, they will be at Soaring Eagle Casino. But anyway, so this particular night, I took the whole family to see the Temptations. And I remember this night very well because my son and our daughter, as Hannah mentioned, Lydia and Lance were there along with my wife, Lori. And before the concert started, we happened to get there pretty early. We were on the 3rd row. I was so excited. I was fired up about this thing. And so before it started, this particular concert venue had some coolers at the back with water so that you could have some, have bottles of water. So I went back to the back to get us some water before the concert started. Get back there, I see a friend of mine. At this point, I was a faculty member at one of the local universities there in Oklahoma City. And I saw a faculty member who was a friend of mine from the music department. I said, Heath, what are you doing here? He said, when the Temptations and groups like this come to town, they usually will hire out people local to play in the band with them. They give them the music, and he said, I'm here playing in the band with the Temptations. I said, that is so cool. I said, I used to play drums when I was in high school. Need any help there, let me know. Heath looked at me and said, well, now that you mention it, Bill, would you like to go up and sing with them? Then I remembered, as being a person who's seen many Temptations concerts, what they do during the concert is that they usually will invite some people on stage to sing what is probably their most famous song, My Girl. And so I've seen this on many occasions. I'm thinking, he's talking about the My Girl thing. So I said, well, Heath, yeah, I'd love to do that. And so he said, great. He said, I'm gonna set it up. And so I get the water and everything, and I thought, boy, that is awesome. I'm gonna sing on stage with the Temptations. So I get back to my seat and I tell my wife, guess what? Saw Heath Jones back there, and guess what he said he's going to do? She was very excited. My kids are going, okay. As I'm sitting during the concert, all I can do is think about the words, I've got sunshine on a cloud, because you don't want to get up there and mess the words up. So I'm thinking about the words to the song, and because you can't mess up My Girl. I can't even enjoy the concert because one song they're singing and I'm still thinking, I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. Finally, they come to a part of the concert that they said, you know what? We need someone on stage to help us sing this song. Why don't we have someone come up on stage? But wait a minute, this wasn't My Girl. This was a song called The Girl's All Right With Me. Wait a minute, no. This is supposed to be My Girl, but sure as everything, the stage director comes up to the edge of the stage, looks at me, points at me, and does this. But wait, wasn't this supposed to be My Girl? And so as I walked up, here I am, getting ready to sing this song, The Girl's All Right With Me. Luckily, there were about 3 people in front of me, and I'm the last one. So I'm standing there going, how is this gonna go? My expectation that day, friends, was My Girl, but the reality was something totally different. To you guys who are our student leaders, let me talk to you just for a second about expectations. Because as a community college at GRCC, we as a commuter school, we don't have any housing, there's no dorms on our campus. As commuter schools go across the country, one of the biggest challenges that we have is student participation. It's across the country. How do you get a campus to really have students engaged to the point where they engage with you even outside of class? So the expectation is that commuter colleges really don't do that good a job of that. But friends, what I am finding out is that you blow that expectation out of the water. Because when you hear the words that Dr. Ender just talked about in congratulating our different people on their different accomplishments, when I hear from Brandon that we set records this year as far as student activities are concerned and their attendance, when I hear things about Phi Theta Kappa, that you blew it out of the water, 5-star rating, when I hear things about new clubs coming online, a Native American club that we haven't had before, what you are doing, friends, is that you are blowing out of the water that expectation. The expectation that said, no, community colleges don't do that. Commuter schools, they don't do that. You're rising above expectations. For that, I say, congratulations. I say, celebrate the fact that you rise above those expectations and you set a new standard. You raise the bar because of what you do as student leaders, as student athletes, as club members. All those things, you stand above the expectation. Let me encourage you to continue that trend. to be a person, to be a student leader that looks to GRCC and looks to our student organizations on campus, and you ask the question not only, what is it that we can do, but what is it that raises the bar, that looks to do something different than what everyone else not only is doing, but what everyone else expects of you. Because when you see those type of storylines, the things that Brandon talks about, the things that Dr. Ender just mentioned, the things that I just talked about, all these things that say you are not paying attention to the expectation, you are rising above the expectation. Be a leader that looks to find out what is the expectation and how do I hit above that expectation in your personal leadership. Let me tell you, and I'll leave you with this story, because I was told not to stay up here long. Let me leave you with this story, because I believe as leaders, it is important to think about how we set the bar higher. And what do we do the next year to move the bar even higher? How do we blow our expectations out of the water? I am a true believer in that. But I'm a believer in that in terms of organizational, and I'm also a believer in that in terms of individual. One of my most strongest mentors in my life was my college basketball coach. And just a few weeks ago, I was able to go back to Oklahoma City as he was getting ready to have and to coach his last game before retiring from coaching. This was some 33 years at one institution, 40 plus years of coaching. This man has coached USA basketball teams. He's coached junior Olympic teams. He has been the coach of many, many. He is actually the most winningest college basketball coach in the history of the state of Oklahoma. But let me tell you what Dan Hayes would do every single day. Before practice, both my years as a player, the years I was honored to be an assistant coach for him, and the years and days leading up to his retirement, let me tell you what he did every single day. You would find Coach Hayes walking out to the basketball floor while his players got dressed for practice. And he'd grab a broom and he'd sweep the floor. Every single day, he would sweep the floor. If you walked out there, you're going, wait a minute, is that Coach Hayes out there sweeping the floor before practice? And you would walk out, and I did it once or twice as an assistant. Coach, I got that. Let me do that for you. No, I'm all right. I got it. Someone who is seen to be one of the most powerful leaders in the state every day would sweep the floor. Let me encourage you, student leaders, today, be a leader who sweeps the floor, who is willing to do things that rise above the expectation, because the expectation was that surely a Dan Hayes would not be seen sweeping the floor, but be a leader, friends, that is not afraid and not ashamed to do the very things that people wouldn't expect of you. You are the person who walks across campus and picks up trash because it's trash and it needs to be picked up. I don't care what your title is. You need to be the person who is not afraid to go out and do whatever it takes to better your organization, whether that means sweeping the floor, whether that means stopping to talk to someone who may not have a whole lot of people talking to them. Whatever that means for you, friends, look to figure out how you raise that expectation. Whatever that looks and sounds like, you blow the expectation out of the water. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Pink, for sharing your stories with us and for sharing your thoughts as well. Could we have one more round of applause for him, please? I am pleased to announce that this is the beginning of our award program at this point in time. I ask that all of our presenters and award recipients will please enter the stage now from my left and will exit to my right. For the first award of the afternoon, I would like to introduce Keaton Krupa, the Director of Creative Dining, who will be presenting the Creative Dining Services Student Employee Scholarship Award. And I ask that if you are presenting after him, that you would prepare yourselves on the side of the stage directly as they're speaking. That'd be great. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Keaton Krupa. I'm the Director of Campus Dining, and I'd like to welcome my service manager who's on stage with me, Hillary Fisk, and our executive chef, Nancy Rutledge, and she's going to announce our 2016 Creative Dining Services Student Scholarship Award. Thank you.
This is Allison Simpson. She is one of our student employees. Her major is game design, and as we were talking, getting ready for this to start, she shared with me that she would like to design video games for autistic people to help them know what to do in social situations in different aspects of just daily life, which I think is amazing and really speaks to the kind of person that she is in terms of being caring and helpful and just one of the best student employees Dining Services ever had. So I'd like to congratulate her and thank her for her hard work this year, and good luck with everything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, I would like to introduce Assistant Professor Todd Tiano from the Biological Sciences Department, who will be presenting the Outstanding Biology Student of the Year Awards.
Good afternoon. That meal was scrumptious. My name is Todd Tiano, Biological Sciences, and got a very special person here that we'd like to honor from our department. The criteria for our Biology Student of the Year are courses taken in breadth of biological study, cumulative GPA, extracurricular contributions at GRCC, community outreach skills, and leadership skills. Sierra blows all those things out of the water. It was an easy, unanimous decision for us. But beyond that, let me just tell you a few things about her that are amazing. She already has a degree in criminal justice. She was a collegiate basketball player. She is a firefighter. Her and her husband are expecting their first child. And I could go on and on and on. So at GRCC, Sarah, we are extremely confident that you will meet all of your goals. You will be in med school soon, and you will succeed in that profession and be a great parent as well. So Sierra Smalley, we'd like to present you with the Biology Student of the Year Award.
Next, we have the Physical Sciences Awards, and I am glad to welcome Chemistry Professor Amy Kurdna to the stage to present these awards.
Our group got a little bit bigger from last year. Pretty excited about that.
All right, I'm Amy Caderna. I'm from Physical Science, and this is the second year that we are recognizing our student achievements in different disciplines in the Physical Science department. Okay, these students are selected based on ability, merits, and dedication to obtaining a deep understanding of their topics. So the first award I'm going to present is the Physical Science Student of the Year for Excellence in Organic Chemistry to Dan Kaler. Oh yeah, there's lots. All right. Dan was nominated by Dr. Jennifer Batten, and she had said about Dan that he studies and prepares for organic chemistry by understanding the concepts, and that his work reflects the interest, understanding, and curiosity. He shows he cares about science and organic chemistry. Dan comes to us from Green Bay, Wisconsin. He's transferring to GVSU in the fall to get a degree in cell and molecular biology. His career goal is to become a doctor of osteopathic medicine, and after completing his residency and paying off debts, he plans to work internationally for humanitarian organizations like Doctors Without Borders. He views the practice of medicine as an opportunity to serve people with their most prominent need, physical health. So congratulations to Dan Kaler for Physical Science Student of the Year for Organic Chemistry. All right, next up, we have Physical Science Student of the Year Award for Excellence in Analytical Chemistry to Trey Pankratz. Lots of things coming their way. So, Trey has been nominated by Dr. Tom Niles, and he is currently doing research with Dr. Niles along with being a student. Right now, Trey has designed methods of separation and analysis in compounds in beer with GCMS. So, Dr. Niles says that he is an excellent student and his love of chemistry really shows. He's a dedicated student who works really hard to obtain a great understanding of the topics. Trey comes to us from Granville and was homeschooled through high school and then came to GRCC. He said his freshman year he planned on going to criminal justice. Then he took a chemistry class. We got him. So, and he fell in love with this subject. Trey says he has always found the professors to be very insightful and helpful and would like to thank them very much. This summer, he's going to be doing research at Hope College through a partnership, and his plan is to get his bachelor's in chemistry and then move on to get his PhD in chemistry. So congratulations, Trey. All right, our third award. It is Physical Science Student of the Year for Excellence in Physics, and that goes to Dan Ritterboss. Dan was nominated by Dr. Jared Johnson, who has had Dan for a student in calculus-based physics. Dr. Johnson said he's an excellent student and that he is not only a good student, but he is also a good person to have in the class. He's a positive influence on other students and works very hard to do very well in the course. Dan comes to us from Middleville, Michigan, and he's going to be working concrete this summer before he goes to U of M to obtain a degree in civil engineering. He is very involved in his community, and on this spring break, he went to Guatemala to help fix churches and walls with his church. When Dan isn't studying calculus physics, which is probably a lot, I'd guess, he sings in a men's and co-ed quartet and plays many musical instruments. Dan has joined his classes with Dr. Johnson. So congratulations, Dan. All right. Our last award winner is Physical Science Student of the Year Award for Excellence in Geology, and that goes to Hannah Norman. Hannah was nominated by Professor Tari Maddox, who had said about Hannah, she is extremely focused and hardworking. She seeks to understand and master all material beyond plain memorization and was one of the top students in both of her classes. She maintains this high standard of performance while maintaining a full-time job. She is currently working on an independent study with Professor Maddox, and who said she's thrown some pretty challenging research papers her way. And Hannah dives in and is excited and confidently asks questions about all of this technical geological material. Hannah's from Grand Rapids and has attended CC since 2013. She works full-time for GEMS Girls Clubs during the day and takes one-night class every semester. She's planning on getting her associates, and when she does, she plans to go into environmental geology. So congratulations, Hannah. I know I speak for all of us here when I say we are very excited to see what you will all do in the future. Congratulations to GRCC's Physical Science Student of the Year. Thank you. Students of the Year. Thank you.
Next, we would like to ask Professor and Music Department Head, Dr. Kevin Dobrev, to come to the stage to present the Academic Achievement Awards in Music.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Bill, that was a really inspiring speech. Thanks so much. I haven't heard you sing before, so perhaps you might consider participating in one of our choirs. It's my pleasure this afternoon to be presenting the 2 Academic Leadership Awards in music. The first is the Emerging Music Student Academic Leadership Award. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that award before we make the presentation. This award is designed to recognize emerging student leaders in the music department. Nominees must have been involved with the music department for a minimum of 2 and no more than 3 semesters while contributing to the music department as leaders. This award recognizes current initiative and contributions as well as future potential. Nominees must be a current GRCC music major. They must be active and involved in a major ensemble, like choir, Bill. Contribute to the success of the ensemble in ways that exceed musical performance. Seek to assist and encourage other students in their musical growth. They must have distinguished themselves in academic performance, and they must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 3.5. This year, we had 2 nominees for the Emerging Music Student Leadership Award, and I'd like them to stand as I call their names and have you acknowledge them. Brittany Rule and Anna Liesma. Now let me tell you a little bit about the award winner. Anna, would you please approach the stage? Anna is a voice major who also plays the flute. She studies flute with one of our fine flute instructors, Carmen Murray, and she studies voice with Dr. Barton? With Dr. Steve Barton. I had to pull that one out of my head. Anna has a grade point of 4.0. And And although this is Anna's first year at Grand Rapids Community College, she plans to major in music therapy when she transfers to Western Michigan University. The nice thing about this award this year for the first time is that not only does Anna get a nice plaque, and I bet it's over here somewhere, but I don't see it yet, so I'll find it, but we also have a great check. The faculty agreed that The Emerging Music Student Award leader should receive a check for $250. So congratulations, Anna. And let's see if we can find that. Oh, congratulations. Okay, I have lost my notes, so bear with me for just a moment. There we go. The Distinguished Music Academic Leadership Award is the second award, and this award is designed to recognize students with distinguished service or achievement that demonstrably benefits the music department at Grand Rapids Community College. Such distinguished service should be a pattern of exemplary service over the student's years at Grand Rapids Community College and exceed the normal duties of any positions that he or she may hold, as in above and beyond the call of duty. Nominees should have at least 4 semesters or more of participation in a major ensemble. However, we do allow that recording technology majors will meet this requirement with no less than 2 semesters. The nominees must be a current GRCC music major. They must demonstrate passion for musical performance. They must be active and enrolled in any GRCC ensemble. They have distinguished themselves showing leadership as a music librarian or music tutor, a lab monitor, or in service learning, and other possibilities not necessarily identified here. They demonstrate intellectual curiosity and scholarship in the fields of music theory and musicology, and they have distinguished themselves in academic performance with a minimum cumulative GPA of at least 3.5. I'd like to acknowledge the nominees for the Distinguished Music Student Leadership Award and have them stand so that you can acknowledge them. Samantha Erickson, Clay Towery, Brianna McKendrick, Tyler Phillips, Arthur Jones, and Wesley Whitig. And now I would ask that Wesley approach the stage, please. It's a great pleasure for me to tell you about Wesley Whitig. Wesley is a very, very fine classical guitarist, and he will be leaving us at the end of this semester to transfer to Grand Valley State University, where he will major in guitar performance. I should mention that Wesley was accepted at the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music in Cincinnati, Ohio, my home state. And, but he decided to stay here in West Michigan and attend Grand Valley State University, where he will complete the Bachelor of Music. Wesley, it's such a pleasure to not only award you this fine plaque, but the faculty have also agreed that the Distinguished Leadership Award winner should receive a check for $500. It's our pleasure. Congratulations. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to announce our next presenters, faculty members Susan Williams and Dr. Mike DeVivo, who will be delivering the Social Sciences Awards.
Hi, everybody. It's been really nice today. It's been excited to see all the hard work all of our students are doing. I'm Susan Williams. I'm a professor of history and the coordinator of gender studies, and I am here to represent the Social Sciences Research Paper Committee. Every single year, we have a big competition about research papers that come through social science classes. We're really looking for really original research and really exceptional analytical skills, and I'm very pleased that this year was our toughest group of students yet. We had amazing, amazing works that were put forward. So I'm excited to be here to celebrate it. And it's also they're all history papers that won, so I'm super excited. So our third place winner is Grace Mars. She wrote a paper entitled Bacteria and Religion for the Black Death class that we have here at the college. So she gets a nice plaque and a check, right? So congratulations. Our second place winner is Joseph Vorhurst. For his paper for world history class called Institutes of Virtue. And again, I'm very pleased to celebrate your hard work. And our first place winner wrote the winning paper for a Latin American history class here at the college. Her name is Catherine Traxel, and her paper was entitled Knowledge Threatened Through Indifference: The Importance of Weaving to the Inca People and How Hegemony and Patriarchy Sought to Destroy It. Congratulations.
I would now like to introduce. Oh, my bad.
Hello, I'm Mike DeVivo. I do geography, and I am the sponsor of Lambda Epsilon, the Grand Rapids Community College chapter of the International Geographical Honor Society. We have with us today Stacy Murphy and April Shirey, President and Vice President of the Lambda Epsilon chapter. I could probably talk for about 2 or 3 hours, which I won't do, maybe like 70 seconds. I'll try and be quick. But these young ladies are an inspiration. In fact, when the visiting geographical scientist, Maria Fadiman, visited us on Monday and learned what these young ladies were doing, she commented on how much of an inspiration they were to her. And a visiting geographical scientist, by the way, there are only 42 of them that are listed by the Association of American Geographers. So it's really a distinguished position. And she was really impressed with our students, because you have Stacy, for example, who will have presented at 3 conferences by the time commencement occurs this academic year. She'll have presented just in the last year 3 papers, and April will have presented 1 time. They've contributed much to not only the geographical community, but to the GRCC community and to humanity. Stacy receives the Lambda Epsilon Leadership Award because of her position as president and the leadership role that she is engaged in, while both of them will receive the Global Citizenship Award and the Academic Service Award marked by Lambda Epsilon. What does this all mean? Well, in terms of the Academic Service Award, they have engaged in facilitating food drives for students here on campus, and they've also been conducting a project devoted to ameliorating poverty among community college students by addressing the food insecurity and housing insecurity needs, conducting research that is ongoing. In fact, I just got an email a little while ago that told me they were just awarded the Geography Lives Field Studies Award for continuing this research this summer. Many people do not know that approximately half of community college students suffer from food insecurity and housing insecurity across the country. And the price, many of us who are older don't realize that the price of college is really astronomical. It's much more than it was in the 1970s. In 1975, a student could work 4.5 weeks at minimum wage and pay for the cost of college, tuition and books for the year. Today, a student has to work more than 18 weeks at minimum wage full-time to pay for the cost of tuition and books for a year. That's basically the difference between around a month of summer vacation and more than the entire summer vacation. Regardless, they're doing some really good work, and they've been interviewing people across the country and attempting to lend some insight concerning the food security and housing security needs of GRCC students, as well as community college students across the country. In addition to that, what else have they done? They have been just saving lives of women in Africa, young girls, by essentially raising funds to send girls in East Africa to school. In fact, they've raised enough to send 4 girls to school. So that's $1,200, and that's really big for a year. Normally, the GRCC Geography Field Cap is awarded to distinguished geographers, visiting geographical scientists, and other distinguished geographers and others who have contributed to geography, such as Nicholas Kristof, the New York Times columnist, was awarded a Geography Lives Field Cap Award. Richard Leakey, the distinguished paleontologist, was also awarded one. Past president of the International Geographical Honor Society, Leon Yatcher, is included on the list, as is the American Geographical Society president, Jerry Dobson, and Lee Schwartz, the geographer for the Department of State. Our alumni have also been awarded this award, but I will tell you, these young ladies are the first that will have been awarded the GRCC Geography Field Cap because of the work that they have done right before they've graduated, and much more is expected of them as many of our stellar graduates. I just got word, for example, that one of our more recent graduates, a former president, was admitted with a fellowship, an assistantship, to one of the leading urban affairs PhD programs in the country. We have a couple of other students in PhD programs, master's programs, and they're doing very well, contributing to humanity, ameliorating social injustice, and really doing some pretty good geography. So please, a round of applause to Stacy and April. Thank you very much.
I would now like to introduce Billy Fern, Assistant Athletic Director, to present the athletic awards.
Thank you. I'm here today to present the athletic awards. We have 4 of them today to present. And first off is the Merrill Star Athletic and Academic Award. Our recipient is Jordan Stevens, right here, and he is the definition of student athlete. He currently he's carried a 4.0 over both years as he's been here at GRCC, and he participates in baseball. He is the second baseman, and if you'd like to see him in action, he has a doubleheader later today at 2 p.m. Belknap Park, everyone. But Jordan Stevens, everybody. Our next award, we actually have a male and female. It's for the Donald R. Black Outstanding Athletic Award, and that's given each year to a male and female athlete for their outstanding contributions to their team. And Kristen Schubring is our recipient for the female side of this award, and she plays 2 sports at GRCC. She participates in basketball and also in volleyball. And she is a great scorer. She averaged 13 points per game over her 2 years here at GRCC. But she is more known for her work ethic and her love for her teammates and just the bondingness that she gives to each team. So we would like to present this award to you, Kristen. For the male side of this award, there is Brendan Johnson. He is also on the baseball team, and he is leading the team in batting average at 420 points, which is really good. He is unable to be here with us today, unfortunately, but we would just like to present that award to Brendan.
The last award I would like to present is the Gordon Hunsberger Award. Gordon Hunsberger was a former athletic director and coach here at GRCC, and he is beloved by many. We have named this award after him and we give it each year annually to a coach or a staff member that has given a great deal to this athletic department. We want to present this award to Bruce Vanderfelt. He is our golf coach. He just retired this last year, and spends his time now in sunny Florida, and so we're jealous of that. But Bruce has coached at GRCC for 9 years and has accomplished many things. He has built a juggernaut of a program in golf. We have a list of his great awards. For instance, he has 8 Michigan Community College Athletic Association Conference championships over those 9 years, 5 state championships, 2 NJCAA Region 12 championships, 5 NJCAA National Tournament appearances, and the list keeps going, 13 Coach of the Year awards, honors, and 1 National Runner-Up Coach of the Year honors. During his 9 years, he had over 65 tournament wins as well. So we would like to, I'd also just like to mention his wife Sue is here as well, and she, just as any wife of a coach would know, that she has to sacrifice a lot too. So we'd also like to, this award is also to you, Sue. But Bruce, why don't you come on up?
Not sure if I'm supposed to speak or not, but after 40 years, last hooray, you might as well. Billy Stoll, he made it easier for me to go home too. 40 years as a coach's wife is never easy because we're either up here or we're down there. And so no matter where I was, she was always right there. So that always meant a lot. And then the people here, what he read was not me. It was because of this and being able to coach at what I think is the best community college in the country. And then my first meeting I went into, I put national championship on the board. And I think of Dr. Pink here a little bit when he was talking about expectations. And I had not had a chance to recruit. And so I put national championship, and I'm giving him the big talk. And first kid raises his hand, and he said, "Well, Coach, I don't have golf shoes. Do I need to have golf shoes?" I can live with that one, okay? The next hand that goes up says, "Well, I don't have golf clubs. Is there someone, can you get me, or can I borrow golf clubs?" And I'm thinking, I just wrote up national championship, and I have kids that don't have shoes and don't have clubs. And fortunately, it goes along with what Dr. Pink was saying is, we put that expectation up there, and then we kept working to get there. And we just always tried never to be outworked. We never gave up when we were playing. And to me, this is what I always lived by: never be satisfied. Because if you're satisfied, you stay where you're at. And we never wanted to stay where we were at. And by the time my second year, I was hoping for a little money with this too. So, my second year, I know I got a tea time at 3, so don't worry. My second year, my kids would come to practice. They would go to supper. They would come back and turn the lights on in their cars, and they would putt. And they probably should have been studying, but I take that because they were all good students also. But that was the mentality that the kids came to me. So, I am so honored and privileged and humbled to accept this award. But the kids that I had come play golf for me were absolutely amazing. And 3 of them called yesterday, said, "Coach, come play with us." So I did, and this is where I'm at now. They hit their driver. I hit my driver. Need to hit about another 7-iron to get to their drive. And all we did was laugh and have fun. And that's, to me, we worked hard, we had fun. And thank you to GRCC for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
It is now time to introduce Assistant Professor Laura Kennett of the Exercise Science Department to the stage to present the Wellness Student of the Year, as well as a new award to the program, the Exercise Student of the Year.
Hello. I think we should do this every Friday. This is awesome. I am going to acknowledge 2 outstanding exercise science students who when you say raise the bar, I drive into work and I think, oh my gosh, am I doing enough? Mike's in my class. He's so smart. Oh no, Austin, he's gonna know this. I gotta make sure that I'm on my A game when I have students like this. It's amazing. But I'm first gonna acknowledge Mike Powell, who you saw in the video, for those of you that know him. He is finishing up his 2nd year here with the intent to transfer to, it sounds like, the University of Utah. Many of you might know him because he has served on the executive board of the Campus Activities Board. He has played football, baseball, track and field, tennis, diving, wrestling, and cross country. Some of his favorite activities now include yoga, rock climbing, running, and hiking. So I don't think he sits still. He has spent time volunteering at places like the Veterans Home, the Humane Society, Kids Food Basket, and Feeding America. When I asked him when he came into my class, what do is there anything specific you want to get out of this class? He said, as much as I possibly can. I said, you can't go wrong with a student like that, right? He most recently became certified. He obtained a professional certification that has allowed him to go on and now teach courses at the new state-of-the-art Mary Free Bed YMCA. So he is not waiting. He's already out in the community working, and his long-term goal involves obtaining a doctorate in physical therapy. So it has been my pleasure when I have students like Mike in my class. It makes me better, and I just wanted to acknowledge him for his hard work and wish him the best of luck. Mike? The second student I want to acknowledge is Austin Mariglia. And Austin arrived at GRCC by way of living in Honduras. And he originally started coaching CrossFit classes there. And this is where he learned he had a passion for helping people. It was very obvious to me as soon as Austin was in my class, he was not there to just get a credit. He was not there to take a class. He's not here to get just a degree. He is here to impact people's lives. He has already begun to do so. He's had a personal journey of significant weight loss and significant lifestyle change, and he wants to help others improve their quality of life. He plans to transfer to Grand Valley. Outside of school, he's also served as a house father for a group home with Bethany Christian Services. He recently was able to obtain a certification. I'm not even sure I would be able to at this point. He recently obtained the American College of Sports Medicine certification as a personal trainer and has gone on to now work at the David D. Hunting YMCA as a certified personal trainer. What amazes me about this is not only that he has taken on the initiative and started working there. Austin contacted me and said, hey, they are looking for other people. Do you have students that you think could make a difference here that may be interested? So multiple times he has come to me and has started to pave a pathway for other GRCC students who are now working there, largely because Austin reached out and took the initiative to do that. So I really appreciate that. But the passion that he has for transforming lives, he's already doing that work. I respect his work so much, and I wanted to acknowledge him as the second student in exercise science for this year. Thank you, Austin. I wanted to actually ask, for the Wellness Student of the Year, I wanted to ask Melanie Sheely-Gady to come up to acknowledge our Wellness Student of the Year. Melanie.
This is going to be a tough lecture for me, her speech. Julia has been a student of mine for 3 years and has taken a class of mine almost every semester for 3 years. So when you talk about having to really work hard as an instructor and you have a student over and over again taking your classes, you got to up your game a little bit, but she has made me a better person and a better instructor because she has been in my classes. She's a first-generation college student. She's overcome so many life obstacles in regards to not really having a family to support her, and so she has reached out to professors here at GRCC and students here at GRCC to help her. And she has found refuge in her education here at GRCC among friends, support from friends and peers, from the classroom, safety, and just belonging with other peers and the professors here at GRCC. She is financially and physically on her own, and she's making it happen by working 2 jobs while also attending GRCC full-time. She promotes a healthy lifestyle, practicing yoga, which is how we met, and running and eating healthy, and she demonstrates this self-care despite living on her own. She displays a positive attitude and provides an amazing amount of compassion and grace in her studies with her professors and her peers. She's vice president of Psi Beta and created and organized a supply drive with Ann Arbor Circle, a homeless shelter for youth, ages 11 through 17. She's involved with Circles Grand Rapids, which is dedicated to inspire and equip families and communities to resolve poverty and thrive. She's a peer mentor in the Well at GRCC. She's an assistant coach for Girls on the Run, where she helps to teach young girls the importance of being strong, fit, and healthy through conversation, laughter, hugs, and energy awards. She is a huge component of our foundation here at GRCC, where she has provided numerous amount of support to our foundation, the Scholar Fest, helping scholar recipients meet their donors. She's volunteered at the GRCC 100th Anniversary Gala, and she's also a member of TRIO and Phi Theta Kappa. She believes that health and fitness and wellness has allowed her to stay grounded, focused, and healthy. And she knows the importance of taking care of herself and that she has to maintain a priority in her own life so she can serve others. Her long-term goal, and we know now that she is attending U of M, go Blue. She just found this out. And she's going to continue on to get her bachelor's in psychology and English, and of course would like to continue her education. Her goal is to become a child and youth advocate, promoting and protecting their rights and education in their holistic health. It is my pleasure and honor to have had you in my class for 3 years. You're so awesome.
Now, as we enter into the last segment of the award program, the Student Life Awards, I would like to introduce Dr. Tina Hoxie, Associate Provost and Dean of Student Affairs, who will be presenting the Jerry Benham Award for staff and faculty.
Thank you. This one's really a special award for me to be able to present it. Jerry and Jan Benham often attend this event, who this award is named after, and have been wonderful contributors to the foundation. Jerry Benham was our food service director and just made awesome connections with our students over the years, and still, as he's been retired for many years, but has a great deal of passion to continue to be connected to GRCC. This, as Hannah mentioned, this award is given annually to a staff or faculty member who is actively supporting students involved in student development and acts as a mentor or role model for student leadership development. These award winners are advocates for students, encouraging them to express and act on their thoughts and ideas. And Jerry always had a ton of ideas. Will the following staff and faculty please come to the stage to receive their certificate of nomination? Jennifer Ackerman Hayward. Marie Burns. Dr. Andre Fields. Raul Garcia. Glennie Hammersma. Simon Kittock. Maggie Montes Spruitt. Jose Mora. Tom Niles. Francisco Ramirez. Lene Selberg. And Travis Steffens. Sounds like you all have a little cheering section there behind you, you know? That's great. So as I kind of pull this envelope underneath, it's my pleasure now to introduce the award recipient of the Jerry Benham Award for 2016 out of this just incredible faculty and staff group that help and support students. This individual gives tirelessly of their time to support students. She is very involved as an advisor and highly respected among students for going the extra mile. In addition to serving as the program director for 2 large service departments on campus, this individual serves as the champion or co-champion to a variety of college action projects and somehow manages to stay involved with the Phi Theta Kappa chapter. Involved probably is not the most fitting description, as this individual goes beyond attending chapter meetings. With the guidance of this individual, the PTK chapter received the recognition of a top 100 chapter out of over 1,200 chapters nationally. Received a top 3 award at the Nerd Nation. I checked on that. Was that typed right? I checked on that. The Nerd Nation. And received the first 5-star rating in over 10 years for the college. As an advisor, she spends countless extra hours working with the chapter members to ensure they have all the tools and support needed to succeed. She has helped members individually to determine the academic needs of their different career paths, and not just their courses at GRCC, but the appropriate degree path and contacts within their prospective universities. She has helped guide the chapter in several on-campus events, including the induction ceremony, ice cream social, Raider Rally, Welcome Week, Club Day, and various fundraisers. One of the nominators for this individual wrote the following: Phi Theta Kappa isn't a percentage of her job with the college, as it is true for some chapter advisors. It is an extracurricular duty for her. We cannot imagine achieving all the successes we have over the last year without her constant motivation and support. Only on a daily basis, we are astonished by all the passion and dedication that she has to our chapter and that truly gravitate to our excitement and success. Please help me in congratulating Lene Selberg as a 2016 recipient of the Jerry Benham Award. Thank you.
It is my pleasure to introduce Ruben Resendiz, President-elect of the Campus Activities Board, to present the nominees of the Benham Service and Civic Engagement Award. Ruben Resendiz.
The Benham Service and Civic Engagement Award is presented to a current student at Grand Rapids Community College who has been actively involved and has shown leadership in service and civic engagement initiatives. This student must also have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 or higher. Will the following students please come to the stage to receive their certificate of nomination? Mary Griggs, Stacy Murphy, and Bo Van Solkema. It is now my pleasure to introduce the award recipient for 2016. Now, this recipient has always been naturally drawn to the nonprofit industry and credits GRCC for developing her passion for providing service to the community. This individual first became involved in service learning, where the class participated in pairing their office skills from business ethics and etiquette with Gilda's Club, to help take on the responsibility of Laugh Fest Central, which led to his second place recognition in the Armin Awards, winning $1,500 for Gilda's Club. This recipient's commitment to community service led to a job with YMCA's Activate Department, whose mission is to alleviate childhood obesity as well as food scarcity in Kent County, teaching nutrition in action in local public schools and offering free cooking classes. This recipient is currently the president of Gamma Theta Upsilon, the International Geographic Honor Society. This student spent 2 days a week holding fundraisers on campus to raise funds for the Campaign for Female Education, which serves to send girls to schools in Africa. This person also had the opportunity as a geography student and as the GTU president to research and present on the importance and community impact of global warming and the economic benefit locally, statewide, and nationally of investing in a fully educated society. Most recently, this person is studying the prevalence of food and housing insecurity on the GRCC campus and community colleges nationwide, hoping to come up with cogent solutions to the issue. The nominator for this individual stated, "This student understands the hardships faced by many community college students and is actively working to ameliorate those difficulties through her research, service, and leadership. She is indeed devoted to contributing to humanity, and she has demonstrated the highest level of commitment to serving her local community. Indeed, she is one of the best." Please help me in congratulating Stacy Murphy as the 2016 Benham Service and Civic Engagement Award.
I would like to invite Anna Dudzik, Vice President for Campus Activities Board, to the podium to present the nominees for the Cedric and Sandy Ward Leadership Award.
This award is presented to a current GRCC student who demonstrates leadership skills throughout the community and campus. This student must have a minimum cumulative GPA of 2.5 or higher. Will the following students please come to the stage to receive their certificate of nomination? Mandy Booz, Michael Brent, Javon Cook, Arendita Arazo Alas, Curtis Liu, Dennis Martinez, Michael Powell, Andre Pratcher, Daviante Shannon, got you, Brandon Sinclair, Graham Sneezak, Teresa Tran, Kayla Tucker, and Bo Van Solkma. It is now my pleasure to introduce the award recipient for 2016. This student is extremely active in the GRCC community, serving as the current president of Standout. Additionally, they spend much of their time, 130 hours to be exact, volunteering hours to the LGBTQ QA+ community by advocating for those that have been marginalized by society. This person has also hosted tables on campus to gain a sense of the needs of students facing poverty and to collect feedback regarding transgender concerns, primarily gender-neutral bathrooms and locker rooms. This recipient contributed to their own time and resources to put together a tent at the first Grand Rapids Pride Festival, fundraising $160 in 4 hours attendance, and gained contacts to help build the membership of Standout. This student feels it is important for a president of a club to not just be a leader, but a friend, helping out whenever possible. The student firmly believes that anyone who is a leader needs more than good organizational skills and communication skills. They also need to set an example for their peers by demonstrating respect for all individuals, particularly those that come from undeserved and underrepresented populations. The nominator for this individual stated, "This person has shown a true passion to lead a group of students who have been marginalized socially throughout their lives. This student shows initiative in engaging the students and is empathetic to each individual. Please help me in congratulating Bo Lane Van Solkma as the 2016 Cedric and Sandy Ward Leadership Award recipient."
One moment. Next, I would like to invite Kevin Carril Vasquez, the External Affairs Director of Student Alliance, to the stage to present the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Award.
Hi, everybody. Just like Bill Pink, I didn't really feel like wearing a suit as well. It's just more comfortable, and I think it's very important to feel comfortable among your friends. That's why I really like this banquet. And I couldn't be more honored to present this award. This award is presented to a current student at GRCC who exemplifies the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. through this community involvement and campus service, seeking to bring change to the promotion of philosophy of Martin Luther King. Will the following students please come to the stage to receive the certificate of nomination? Ahmed Ali, Elsie Cooper, Mary Griggs, Jonathan Jackson, Mallory Robinson, and Bo Van Solkma. Drum roll? No. All right. It is now my pleasure to introduce the award recipient for 2016. This individual is currently a member of the Black Student Union and helps coordinate the Nourishment for Souls and Cure for Violence for Black History Month. The student is also a member of the Alpha Beta Omega, a leadership development organization with a focus on education and excellence. This student has contributed a number of volunteer hours to a local elementary school and served as an usher at the annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. celebration and the Giants Award program. This recipient is in collaboration with the International Expect to create a nonprofit organization that will support East Africans with albinism. As an albino person from East Africa, this project is important to the student, particularly because this population is targeted in a violent and inhumane way. The nominator for this individual seated, in my interactions and experience with this student, I found him to be a personable young man who is wholly engaged in achieving his educational career and life aspirations. He is not only a strategic proactive as it related into seeking information, advice, and support, but also appears to make a deliberate attempt to seek out opportunities for leadership and bring a positive and engaging energy to the GRCC campus. Please help me in congratulating Ahmed Ali in the 2016 Martin Luther King Award.
I would like to invite Kaylee Wolf, Graduate Assistant for Student Life and Conduct, to the stage to present the last award of the afternoon, the Brian Clowett Campus Involvement Award.
This award is presented to students who are active and involved in student activities in campus life. These students have established a cross-college interest in campus life and community service and have been helpful in promoting the overall college experience through outstanding citizenship. The students must also have a cumulative GPA of 2.75 or higher. Will the following students please come to the stage to receive their certificate of nomination? Amanda Aguirre. Monica Mashinsky, Braden Muhlenberg, Mallory Robinson, Brandon Sinclair, Teresa Tran, Lily Tran, and Bo Van Solkema. Please help me in congratulating these nominees. It is now my pleasure to introduce the award recipient for 2016. This student was highly involved both on and off campus while maintaining a full-time course schedule for the fall and winter semester. With the assistance of his fellow officers, this individual has been able to lead the growth of Student Alliance as it continues to form its new identity. His peers and advisors admire him for his dedication, commitment, and service to the GRCC community. His dependability to complete tasks or objectives has also been witnessed this year by many. Some of the goals that this individual was or is still linked to is increasing student participation in college action projects, working with IT staff and OrgSync staff to create a single sign-on solution to make engagement opportunities more accessible on campus, and working with his fellow student leaders and facilities to address the need for a club hub, which will make collaboration opportunities a bit easier between clubs and organizations. This student has also remained active in the Campus Activities Board, volunteering at Fall and Winter Welcome Week, and Stress Buster. This student is active in College Republicans at GRCC, as well as the Michigan Federation of College Republicans, currently serving as treasurer. This recipient serves as a volunteer in the Boy Scouts of America and its Honor Society. He currently serves as a member of the National Leadership Seminar staff as well. The nominator for this individual stated, "I am just completely shocked at Brandon's maturity, professionalism, and dedication. It's uncommon to see, particularly for a student of his age. He has a very bright future, hopefully in higher education. Please help me in congratulating Brandon Sinclair as the 2016 Brian Clote Award recipient.
Wow, this has been an amazing afternoon. I don't know about you. But you can see how all of our student leaders, our faculty and staff advisors, our musical groups, our athletes, our service organizations, our academic organizations certainly make GRCC very, very proud, and they make a difference here. In concluding the program for today, I would like to do a few recognitions that are very deserving. First, I'd like to recognize our student life staff. They have come together as a team this year and worked tirelessly and very hard to put together just an array of activities and support our student leaders and staff at the college. Now, one person couldn't be here. We have two graduate students from Grand Valley State University. Ashley Begris actually has been a graduate student for 2 years, and she got a job at Central Michigan. So that's kind of what you want. When you be a graduate student, you finish your program. And so she is actually, has taken that position, is now working at Central Michigan as a student success advisor. But she was instrumental in helping the CAB organization all year long. Kaylee Wolf is our other graduate student from GVSU. Kaylee, if you would stand. This is her first year. The great news is she'll be with us next year, and we'll be bringing on another graduate student from GVSU. What a great partnership we have with this institution. Brene Garcia is not here. Someone needed to staff the office. So can we take him something to eat, maybe, okay, from that great meal? Molly Masick is probably the glue that holds everything together. Just by the cheers, you can tell how much she's loved and appreciated for all the work that she does to support our students and our organizations. And last but not least, Evan Macklin. Evan, you didn't exit, did you, over here? Evan has really stepped up in the absence of a director this year and has done just an exceptional, exceptional job. Now, Evan also is having a change of life. He has a new baby that's about 2 weeks old. So his dedication to be here today and actually be separated from Gabrielle, I don't know how you're doing it. But thank you so much. You've done an amazing job. You are an amazing team. This event is student planned and student run. And I think that speaks to the quality and the talent of the students that we have here at the college and how they start, they grow. I want to especially recognize Hannah Christopherson and Brendan Sinclair. Please stand. You both have done amazing work this year and the time that you've been here. And as Bill Pink talked about, your performance has certainly been above expectation. And I think for today has blown it out of the water. Wouldn't you agree? I want to thank all of you for coming. I know we had some students that had to leave. We had a full house. That's just how dedicated everyone is. They got to slip out and get to class. That's a good thing. I know Dr. Ender mentioned commencement, and that's one of the pride and special days for the whole college and the staff to see you walk across that stage. If you're graduating, I hope you will take advantage of owning that moment. It's just 2 weeks away, so please join us for that celebration. You're very deserving of that. Just a couple little just side notes. We are taking photos out in the lobby following, and those will get posted on Facebook and social media, and you all know how that all works. So that's always a lot of fun to see all the happenings afterwards. So please take advantage of that. There are flowers on the table. Now this one's a little tricky, this message. Evidently the flowers that are in sand we can't take. But the flowers that lack sand, someone at the table can take those along and put them in some water at home. So amongst yourselves, decide who's going to do that, okay? So again, thank you so much on behalf of the Student Life Office and Student Affairs for coming today and being part of this special recognition. Thank you.